Hello everyone and welcome back to Make Your Mind. This is a video I haven't done in a while actually. I got a new product that I'm going to be doing a review on. I have a few products that I've done in the past. If you want to check out those videos, I'm going to leave cards up here on the top right. So if you want to check out some reviews I've done in the past, go ahead and click on that and check them out. But in the meantime, I have had a lot of questions from people asking me what type of clay do I use? What is this? What is all of this up here? What is all of these different colors and things? What kind of clay is this? Well, I'm about to reveal that for you today. Viewers and subscribers alike, may I introduce this. The Sargent Art Modeling Clay 48 Colors Pack. This is a much bigger pack than what I normally use, but I got this because I simply wanted to showcase the type of clay that I actually use. Now, Sargent Art is a brand that I've been using for a long time. I'm not sponsored, but I do love their product. Mainly because if you check out my 1 pound black clay video, and I'm going to see if this is the same. That clay actually smelled a lot like chocolate, and I want to see if this is kind of the same thing. So this just comes in a cardboard box. I ordered this off of Amazon. Let me grab my, as you can see there's a little bit of tape here. I'll grab my putty knife and cut through that real quick. And look at this. Holy cow, that's a lot. So as you can see, there are tons. It says according to the box here, 48 different colors. Everything ranging from your primary colors to earth-based colors to pastels. I mean, there is everything in this box. And it's not a very bulk amount, but with the individual colors, like this here, this is kind of like a lavender, sort of light purple. You get everything from dark red. I'm actually just going to dig through here because these are sort of the more pastel colors right up here. And as you can see, as we get deeper, there's a second layer here, and we're getting down to some more of the primaries. So let's pull one of these out. Let's see, we got some more back here. Ooh, we got the sort of more yellowish greens back here. But these come in little individually packaged, just little seal-proof bags here. And the clay itself, it's pretty much soft right out of the gate, so it's very easy to work with. But this is a earth-based, wax-based clay. This is the type of clay that you want to use. This is more for younger kids, and also I like to call this my doodle clay. This is the kind of clay that I would normally use when I wish to make sculptures. Come on, stay open, box. Here, I'm going to fold that back real quick so that I can keep that going. There we go. But this is essentially the kind of clay, it doesn't harden, you can't bake it, you don't really want to paint it. I mean, there are plenty of other clay and applications for this, but this is mainly a type of clay that I use to make sculptures and also to better hone my finger skills, pretty much, just to be able to become better at what I'm doing. But since I'm holding this one, let's go ahead and open it up, shall we? Let's see what we're working with here. So these are sealed individually. There's a little bit of residue on the outside of the bag, which is fine. Most clays normally do this. Want to be careful when you're opening up this clay. You do want to be careful and make sure that the plastic doesn't cut into it too much. So I typically open it up. I mean, it's very similar to like opening up a pack of cards, essentially. So here's the clay we're working with here. How soft is it right out the gate? Ooh, very, very soft. Now, here comes the test. Ooh, it does have a little hint of a chocolate smell. It does smell like that, but it has a little bit of a plasticky smell as well. This is very similar to the plastilina clay that I made a review on. And that clay is actually a little bit tougher to work with. You have to warm it up to really get it sort of malleable and soft. And let's see here. Let's roll it in my hands for a second. Oh yeah, it's very soft right out the gate. Look at that. It's very soft. So let's break off a piece. So you can see it leaves a little residue behind, but a little roll of the fingers, and it's gone. So this stuff is already very easy to work with. This doesn't come with, let's see here, let me see if there's anything in the bottom of the box. Is there anything here? I'm not seeing anything. So this must be, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and put some of these back. So there's no instructions that come with this, but do you really need instructions? I mean, goodness, you could literally come here onto this channel or come to any of the other videos here on YouTube and actually be able to figure out how to sculpt things yourself. But I know some of the main techniques that I like to use. I like to not use any tools. Okay, and that leaves one behind. Let's go ahead and close this up. I'll leave this as the top. And let's work with this, shall we? So let's see. What do we want to make? I don't know. Let's just doodle real quick. But this clay is very soft right out the gate. It cracks a little bit, but once you warm it up, it becomes very, very soft. And just with the warmth of your fingertips, you don't have to warm it up in like leaving it out in the sun or having to like really roll it in your hands for a long time in order to get it working. And ooh, yeah, it gets very soft very quickly. And the one thing about this kind of clay is that it will leave the color residue on your hands. You don't really see it mainly because this is a bit of a fleshy tone. It's kind of like a darker sort of orange. So you're not really going to see it, but it does leave a residue on your hands. You can feel it. So you want to make sure that make sure you have some kind of a rag or even a baby wipe to be able to wipe your hands off at the end, because you leave fingerprints on clothes. I actually have a bag of baby wipes just right behind me here that I'll more than likely use here at the end of the video. And also make sure, like I've said in many of my videos, you want to use a nice clean surface. This is my acacia laminated cutting board that I use as my surface, and this is what I use in order to create these incredible sculptures for everyone to enjoy. So let's go ahead and get this box out of here. Leave the rest of that brick right here, and let's make something, shall we? Let's see, what could we make? What could we make? All right, well, in the meantime, while I figure that out, let's get this rolling. Yeah, this stuff is good to work with. Once again, I'm using my hands to add not only my own body heat to the clay to make it softer, but also to roll it and knead it to make it easier to work with. This stuff is really good. Oh goodness, I do love this product. Sargent Art, I've been using your product now I've been using it now for going on almost 5 years. And I've been using it for the entire length of this channel. So as you can see, as you're rolling it, you see when you do pull it, it does leave a little bit of residue, but that's how most of these wax-based clays work. And a lot of times this is a wax and also a polymer clay. So this stuff is, yeah, you see that? See how it cracks a little bit? You got to continue to warm it up. But so far, this stuff is actually very easy to work with. It does come off, as you can see right there, but I typically take my tool, just add it back, and then roll the rest of it, because it does leave a lot of oil. As you can see, there's a lot of oil that's left over on the surface. But it's not toxic, but you want to make sure that when you're dealing with this, let me see what it says here on the box real quick. So here's the back of the box. So it's 48 packs, 60 grams each, so this is 2.11 ounces. These are non-toxic, and it does conform to ASTM D4236 standards when it comes to the types of clay. There's the address for the company, Sargent Art. Made in Thailand. That's where they get all their exotic materials when it comes to making this stuff. Well, Sargent Art, you guys are a favorite of mine for sure. I've used your plastilina clay, I've used your 1 pound blocks of clay, and there's no age limit on the box, but in my personal experience, you want to make sure that you're dealing with someone, I would say, ages 5 and up. I mean, anyone who's younger than that, you want to make sure that they're supervised, because this stuff in the wrong hands, it can stain clothes, and it could be a bad day for everyone. So, what are we going to make here? I'm trying to think of what to make while I'm talking. What to think? How about... I got an idea. We'll start out with a human figure, and we'll sort of work our way from there. So we got the torso here. What I'm doing is I'm simply just breaking these off, making the arms, and then the head. So here's the first arm. I'm going to roll this product, it's nice and warm now. It's so easy to work with. I like this stuff. It's so easy to work with. As you can see, I call this the claw, where I bend my pointer fingers out of the way, and I use my middle finger and my thumb in order to knead the clay to get the shapes I desire. So I'm making this as an arm, as you can see. And once again, I do this kind of fast, so I'm going to try to slow down. So what I did here to do that, as you can see, I started out with this, and then what I did is I took my fingers and simply rolled like that, so that now it makes shoulders. I pinch this part of the clay here, and then roll the top just like that, and then that gives me the shape for shoulders. And then I add the arm in like this, and then I simply pull the shoulder material towards the arm to sort of fuse it in, and then I roll it to smooth it out, and then bend the shoulder in, and then there is an arm to start with. And see, this clay, it does crack a little bit, so you do want to continue to work with it. But when you get the sculptures done, there we go, so there's an arm. Let's make a leg real quick. So I'll make a leg. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it. You can either roll it in your fingers, or you can roll it on your clean surface right in here. And then what I do to make a thigh, I simply pinch here and roll so that it makes a joint. And then I roll this back. So what I did is I basically rolled it in half to create this more of an oval shape, and then I flatten the ends using my finger like that. And then to give it the idea of a shin muscle, what I do is I push this in. I do the same technique I did with the shoulders, but I push down along with it as well. Look at that. Oh, that's cool. And then I simply make a foot. Here we go. So let's pull some more clay down like so. Let's roll it and separate it, make a joint there, and then what I do is I bend this forward and then bend it back, and then that gives the impression of a foot. Yeah, this is a good song. I like this song. I'll leave a link down in the description below for this song. This is some good music. Okay, so there's a leg. Sorry, I think I'm getting a little bit into the uncanny valley here, so if anybody's afraid of mannequins, I do apologize, but... So there's a leg to start with. And let's do a head, shall we? So if I want to make a head, I want to take some clay off in order to get it to scale. And what I do is I rolled and made a sort of ball by rolling it with my two fingers in a sort of circular motion, kind of like this, and then I pinch the one end and then roll with my hand. So that way it makes the sort of ball shape to start, and then I take the neck and place that in just like that, and then I do the same thing as I did with the arm, but then I knead the clay right there so that it creates the neck profile, and then, so that it's not such a long neck, I roll the clay down, and then there's a head. Don't know if I'll be doing any real detailed features, but I have to say, once again, Sargent Art, this clay is extremely easy to work with. It leaves residue on your hands for sure, like most clay does. But once again, it's so easy to work with, and it's very easy to clean up afterwards, as long as you take just simple precautions. And don't do like I did when I was younger. I would accidentally leave this clay in my pants, because I carried it around with me sometimes when I was younger, and it would end up in the wash. And now, if this clay ends up in the wash, it will not ruin the washer, but when it melts, it will stick to the insides of the dryer. And the only way to get it out is to scrape it out with either like a trowel scraper, or in many cases for me scraping it out after I was disciplined, scraping it out with a butter knife. So make sure that you check your pockets before actually going, before putting your clothes in the wash, especially if you have younger children. Those are just those aren't tips from Sargent Art. Those are just tips from my own personal experience. So there's another leg. The legs are kind of long, I will agree, so we'll squat it down. Oh, that's so cool. And then we'll do another arm. It's kind of a similar process. Yeah, but once again, I do reiterate, I get a lot of people asking me the question, can you bake this? No. Do not try to bake this. It will melt and it'll be an absolute mess. This is a wax-based clay. This is not a polymer. This is not a baking polymer clay. If you want to do that, check out my video that I did about Sculpting. Sculpting, that's a brand that makes some baking clay. Or if you want to do that, you can even do some air dry clay. Now, if you want to see a review on some air dry clay, stand by. I do have some on the way, and when that shows up, I will be conducting a video on some air dry clay. I have a couple of different styles of air dry clay. So let's go ahead and roll that other arm in. All right, let's bring the arm in, make it a little closer to scale. And there we go. Let's take a little bit of clay off. So in order to add some clay to it, I'm just going to get it nice and warm at first, get it to the shape I need. Add it on just like this. And then I simply knead it in, just like this. Alright, and if I want to go into further detail, I can do so. But in the meantime, there's a human. there's a figurine. Oh, this stuff's fun. See, when I was younger, I had action figures when I was growing up, but you could only pose them so much. So I actually learned how to use this kind of clay in order to create characters that could basically be posed any way you like. Alright, so now, with this stuff being quite warm, as you can see, the figure does want to fall, so I would recommend getting something like this. This is Armature Wire. I use the gold Armature Wire just because I like the color. And this stuff is essentially, it's Armature Wire or jewelry wire. I have a couple different gauges for it, and I also like to use, let's see, do I have one nearby? I do, there we go. I just use a simple toothpick. If I wish to, this character is doing a superhero landing, so if I wish to stand them up, I will pierce that in the back there. And that will simply stand the character up. So that way he does a superhero landing. So once again, Sargent Art, this is a fantastic product to use. Once again, do not bake this. You can add hardeners to it, I guess, but there are much better products to use if you're looking to make something more permanent. Check out my Sculpey review that I did. I'll leave a link to it. There's a card that have more than likely popped up in the corner already. So scroll back on the video and check that out. But this stuff right here, let's move this out of the way. This stuff right here, the Sargent Art Modeling Clay 48 color box. Would recommend this 100%. I give it a 4 out of 5, mainly because the only reason I don't give it a full 5 is because this clay is not permanent. But this stuff is great, especially for honing your skills and getting used to how a lot of different clays work. I like to call this stuff right here, this is my doodle sketchbook, in a way, for being a sculptor, is being able to simply make the things I want to make, like this character here, and then when I want to make something else, simply mash it, roll it up into a ball, and start anew. So with that, that concludes this review. I definitely give it 4 out of 5, and I would definitely recommend this product to anyone who is looking to learn and sort of hone their skills when it comes to becoming a sculptor. Learning simple techniques, especially learning to coordinate with your fingers and your hands when it comes to making the shapes you want, and essentially turning what's in your mind here in clay form, bringing what's in your mind into reality. It's part of one of the things of this channel. I like to make your mind. Whatever's on your mind, make it. It's as simple as that. So with that, thank you so much for watching this review of my Sargent Art 48 color clay pack. And with that, if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to leave a like down below. And remember to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss the next video. I've got some more reviews coming, along with some more how-to tutorials and some awesome sculpture showcases. So stay tuned. Got some cool stuff on the way for 2022. So thank you all for watching. I will see all of you on the next review video.